Bangladesh need, from their point of view, is to be 74 no loss after 20 overs.
Exactly.
I'm not saying 10 overs. Let's say 20 overs, 18 overs. What India want to do is have them at 40 for 3.
Yeah. They're a momentum team, aren't they, Bangladesh? Once they get on the front foot and they start hitting a few boundaries, they find boundaries from nowhere. They're really dangerous in that aspect. So from a bowling point of view, India, yes, take wickets regularly, but also put them under pressure to play massive shots that actually are giving percentage-wise to the bowler that they might get out playing those shots.
Having said that as well, with what Shakib and Mahmudullah did in that record-breaking partnership against New Zealand, shows that they do have that discipline not to panic.
Yeah, and it shows actually. They came quite hard at them, the New Zealanders, with pace. So it shows that they're not worried about the ball sort of zipping through head height, which maybe would have been a question mark 10 years ago. Yeah. They're evolving as a team. I think Mahmudullah is a lovely player, actually. He's got a lovely touch about him. He's
correct.
Yes, he's very correct. He's very, very similar to Rohit Sharma in some ways. So having him in the middle of the innings is a really safety valve. It's a good knowledge for his team to know that they can rely on him. It's generally teams where they get thin on the ground with the batting at sort of 7-8 that worry, whereas they've got a bit of a rock there.
Just a final point at the moment, and then we'll be back hopefully for a start very shortly. I mean, Pakistan do wait in the final for one of these two sides. This is going to be a game that is so vital for both countries today. Just the flavour it from Sylhet right the way down in Bangladesh and also throughout India. They're going to be big time watching and listening to this one today.
Everyone's following it in the subcontinent. The entire subcontinent is watching. It's not just about India, Bangladesh, even for Pakistan, as you likely mentioned. I mean, Pakistan are again unpredictable, but facing India sends shockwaves through their bodies. I mean, they'll beat South Africa, they'll beat England, but when it comes to playing India, it'll be like, oh, we have India, all nerves and everything. So they'll be hoping that Bangladesh can come
the fence there, eh?
Yeah, no offense, no offense. That is how it is. That is how they've played in the last decade or so. I want something different. I want to see something different because India-Pakistan is no longer what India-Pakistan used to be. But India-Bangladesh first, and Bangladesh, as we'd like to mention to our listeners, the covers are coming off. The hovercraft is being taken off. The spitting rain has stopped.
Exactly. All I want now is a bit of that Bengal rising sun to give us an occasion that we're looking forward to. Plenty more to come from Chetan and from Gareth, and a great team for you today. This is Talk Sport 2 live from Edgbaston.
The ICC Champions Trophy 2017.
Down the track, up in the air, will clear the boundary, easily deposited in the side screens. That's a 6 for Shoaib Malik.
Little Dilshan scoop, which Joe Root will scamper after down towards the boundary. There are two chasing it, and Root has brilliantly stopped it going over the boundary for 4. A magnificent piece of fielding. He's thrown himself at it headlong.
3 boundaries in his stay. He's 16 and Guptill, beautiful shot through the covers for 4. He lent into that one.
They comes into ball to Amla, who goes aerial this time, and that'll be 6.
Slowly on strike. Short. Pull down towards long on, going all the way. Poor delivery. Virat Kohli has got maybe the answers to his slow scoring rate.
Hales, he waits, he comes down the wicket, and this time he's got to his 50 with a pull shot over mid-wicket. 1 bounce for 4.
Hazel full again, and Neesham has just picked out the fielder at long on. David Warner turns to the crowd and tells them to keep quiet.
Sarangalakmal bowls. Amla back and across, nudges it through.
Square leg for 100, number 25. Little bit nervous in the last couple of deliveries, but he holds the bat in the middle of the blade, removes the helmet, acknowledges the applause. Square leg for 100, number 25. It's going to be bowled by the left arm spinner. A little bit nervous, and that's the last couple of deliveries. Long off for 6 by Hardik Pandya. He is a good, clean striker of the ball, and he gets going straight away.
Two Hayes and bowls, and this time he just swings to the chance for the catcher. It's a brilliant deliveries. That is the second wicket. That was absolutely vital for England. He mistimed it. He went for the big shot, the big hike. He didn't really get anywhere near it, and Bangladesh are 95 for 2.
Hastings comes wide of the wicket, very wide of the wicket, and Taylor tries to smash. I think he's got a top edge just up in the air, and he's caught by mid-off as mid-off comes around.
Williamson on 99 as Hastings comes in a bolt.
Bangladesh
And Williamson has just punched it into the covers for a single. And doesn't that say it all? Williamson has made so many of his runs through singles, so why not bring up your 100 with another?
Here's Malinga, last ball of the over. Duminy laps it over third man for 4. It takes some courage and confidence that your protective equipment is the absolute best to do that.
Just try and get an extra 20, 30 runs here. Once more it's played in. It's a straight shot, but it's high up in the air. It should be easily taken. And, oh, he's dropped it. That's an extraordinary drop.
The absolute best.
It's an absolute dolly.
So Root has to struggle on with the ankle that he turned in a pull shot earlier. And Shakib goes into Bolter Morgan, who clubs it for 6 over mid-wicket. Goes 10, 20 rows back into the crowd just to our left. The flamethrowers go off on the top of the pavilion stand.
It looked like he was trying to play cricket on an elevator. And he's beaten again, edged, and that is the end of the New Zealand innings. No hat-trick for Hazelwood, but he picks up 6. 3 in the over. And New Zealand have been bowled out.
Short delivery this time, straight to the fielder at short mid-wicket. That's a welcome wicket for Sri Lanka. Du Plessis, 75 he was on. Short of length delivery from Ruwan Pradeep, 82 miles per hour. A welcome wicket for Sri Lanka. It's 189 for 2.
He goes for another one, Pandya. This one is again going even further, this time leg side. Deep mid-wicket, 3 sixes in a row.
I'll tell you what, he has hit that well into the crowd.
The ICC Champions Trophy 2017.
Steps away, Tamim Iqbal creates his own width, and that is a handsome shot over long off for the first 6 of the match. 1 run shy of 50 is Tamim Iqbal, and he'll get it. Full delivery on the pads, and as comfortable as you like. Wants to single this time, and he'll get it. Tamim Iqbal raises his bat, takes off the helmet, 100 not out, taking Bangladesh to 214 for 2.
Outrageous shot, real pace, 84 miles an hour. He's such a little chap, he almost on his knees.
You're listening to TalkSport 2 and to Cricket Radio, exclusive global partners of the ICC Channel 2 group. And we have a start time for you here at Edgbaston. It's in about 7-8 minutes time at 10:40. It's Bangladesh who have been stuck in by India, who won the toss, and the floodlights are on here at Edgbaston. It's still full cloud cover. It's dark, but we have a start and an important moment as both of these sides make their way out to the centre, and the flags of Bangladesh away to our left and to India away to our right as the two sides turn to face us here at the pavilion end, and we await the national anthems. Chetan and Gareth Batty still with me at the moment, and semi-final can do strange things to anybody, can't it? However good you are, as we saw yesterday, but we're hoping for a good one today.
It's the extra pressures, isn't it?
So the ground isn't full yet by any means, so we're hoping it will be by the end. But now the whole of the crowd here stand for the national anthems.
now to Bangladesh. Flamethrowers are working, so too the vocals of both the Bangladesh and Indian sides here at Edgbaston. And I'm delighted to say that this is TalkSport 2 and Cricket Radio, exclusive global partners of the ICC Channel 2 group for this second semi-final in the 27 Champions Trophy. I'll leave you in the capable hands first up of Gareth Batty, and a man who should know better. He's hardly dressed for a summer's day at Edgbaston. Neil Manthorpe, you've got a T-shirt on. Manners, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sags. It was so bright and sunny when I woke up this morning. It was quite a few hours ago. It certainly isn't the case now. Well, a massive day for Bangladesh. I would venture to suggest, Gareth Batty, that this would be the biggest game in Bangladesh's cricketing history. If they can reach the final, well, I'm put it this way, there's 160 million people who are desperately hoping that they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see their progression that they've made in the last sort of 5 years, I suppose. They're really putting themselves on the cricketing map. They've got some wonderful talent within their ranks, and it just goes to show that it doesn't matter whether you're an established cricketing nation or an emerging one. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day, and it's great to see Bangladesh out there. It's a massive day for them.
Now, I don't know whether people have, or the majority of cricket fans have made the journey and progressed with Bangladesh, and whether they believe that they are now capable of competing with the very best top teams. I mean, they had a reputation for so long as being minnows and underdogs. But I commentated on their game against New Zealand that put them into the semi-final, and they were outstanding. I mean, for me personally, gone are the days where you think, how can Bangladesh beat India? Really, how can they? But there's half a dozen game-changing performance in that Bangladesh team.
Absolutely, they're very, very dangerous. Obviously, in the winter, we saw England out in Bangladesh, and we saw them at close hand. And you look at Tamim Iqbal, proven international player now, wonderful player. If he gets 100 today, I believe it'll be his 10th ODI 100, which is amazing. You've got Shakib Al Hasan, who's been around the world playing cricket, in domestic stuff as well as obviously internationally. The wicket-keeper, Rahim, dangerous little player, plays all forms of the game, very dangerous. I like this fella Mamadou, he's a classical, wonderful player, which they can build around. Mortaza knows what he's doing, he's been around for a long, long time. And then we've got the young fella who bowls the left-armers, who I believe he played for Sussex last year.
Yeah.
Young
Mustafiz Rahman.
Yeah. And he's setting the world alight, and he's such a young fella. So they're just a very exciting team. And the one thing that India will know after the contest today, win or lose, they'll know they've been in a contest.
We hope so.
They will.
I mean, I think that the Bangladesh have the ability to cause one of the biggest upsets in one-day international history. I'll go so far as to say that as well. But will they have the nerve? Will they be able to hold their nerve under the pressure and the enormous weight of expectation? And many of their best players have admitted in the past that they haven't coped with the weight of expectation very well. Anyway, Bhuvneshwar Kumar is about to bowl the first delivery, and he's into Tamim Iqbal outside the off stump, wide outside the off stump, and left alone. Our umpires today, Kumar Dharmasena and Richard Kettleborough. Nigel Long is the third umpire. Very grey skies still, brooding almost, and it was supposed to be no rain before 2 o'clock this afternoon. Mark Saggers had his weather forecast out.
When I got here, it was cracking the flags. It was beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Kumar in once again, and once more just wide of the off stump, wide enough for Tamim Iqbal to leave alone. The smaller nations that have gone on to become established test-playing nations, you go right back to, I don't know, well, the West Indies, you know, and then everyone since then, Sri Lanka and to a degree Zimbabwe and Bangladesh. Here is Bhuvneshwar Kumar once again, and that's pushed defensively out on the onside. At some point during their rise, they've all had a hard man, haven't they? They've had someone who's prepared to actually stand up and, you know, give it back, whether it was verbal or cricketing.
Yes, front up to the opposition and say, come on, pal, you're not going to walk all over us. And I think Iqbal does it for them with the bat. He's a pretty, you know, prickly, shall we say, character. He wants to get in a fight with the opposition, which is great.
Here's Kumar once again, and straighter. Turned away for the first run out on the onside through square leg, behind square leg. They go through for a single. There's been a few. Who would you... I mean, I remember... Sri Lanka turned a big corner. I mean, they always had Arjuna Ranatunga.
Yes, absolutely. He walked the side off, didn't he, when there was the issues with Morley in Australia and whatever. He just walked the team off. I mean, that's an amazing thing.
Darryl Hare no-balled him.
I mean, I think that's... I would want to play for somebody who does that for his team. So, come on, I'd run through a brick wall for him. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and he had a very, very good line of verbal line, Arjuna Ranatunga.
He had a few good lines at the local takeaway as well, looking at.
Right, Sumya Sarkar is the other left-handed opener. He's on strike. He's surveying the field as Bhuvneshwar Kumar once again runs away from us, and there are 2 slips waiting. That's outside the off stump, but a little bit of wobble, I think, there. Just a bit of shape away from the left-hander. It's left alone by Sarkar.
I think that's sort of... It's still bizarre to say we're in June, but it feels still a bit early season conditions here in England, where we're not going to see too much swing, but the ball just doesn't seem to go straight up and straight down. There's just something that keeps the batters honest. But it does look a very good surface here. It looks a good Edgbaston surface.
Here's Kumar. Bowled him! Inside edge, dragged it on. Full and wide and tempting. Sumya Sarkar threw himself at that. Couldn't resist the temptation. And he's got an inside edge, and he's dragged it back from a foot outside off stump. and smashed into the middle and leg.
Yeah, I mean, just said that there wasn't too much movement out there, but I think this one's just nipped back. A little bit of nip back, little bit of swing. He's thrown his hands at one, trying to drill it through extra cover. Very sort of modern-day, one-day shot. Unfortunately, a big inside edge that cannoned into the stumps and smattered them all over the floor. Great start for India, tough start for Bangladesh, but the intent was good, just execution unfortunate there for Sarkar.
I completely missed that nip back, and I mean it only moved an inch and a half.
Tough start for Bangladesh.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Doesn't need to be too much, does it? And with a newer ball, it rattled off the inside edge quickly and skidded into those stumps and smashed them out. It's a nice piece of bowling. I mean, we talk about Kumar all the time and what a very good opening bowler he is in any conditions. He just holds his length so well, and that's probably what did for Sarkar more than anything there. It wasn't quite as full as he thought. He was looking to hit the ball on the up, take the aggressive approach, the modern day approach, and take the game to India. And because it was a good length, that little bit of shape that we saw actually was his undoing.
So I know that you have the benefit of hindsight and the fact that he's back in the pavilion now, but should he have left it, or was it a legitimate shot?
No, I think it was there to hit, if I'm honest. He's just a little bit unlucky that we did see that bit of shape, and actually what he did was he tried to take the ball early rather than hitting it underneath his eyes. So taking it early means if you get it wrong at all, you drag it on or nick it to the slips. Unfortunately, he dragged it on.
Tamim Iqbal on strike now. Jasprit Bumrah is sharing the new ball. Well, he's got his own new ball. There's one each, and that one has been missed by Rohit Sharma down on the fine leg boundary. No, that's Bhuvneshwar Kumar, sorry, who's not very convincing attempt to dive. It was more like he was laying down rather than diving. He didn't want to get anything dirty. He didn't really get any grass stains on his blue flannels. Wasn't